This is my father, King Edward VIII. I want to make sure this gets on here. This is my uncle George in 1939, the year I was born, and he is with, he's in Hyde Park. He's visiting President Roosevelt, Roosevelt's wife and mother, and of course he's got Elizabeth's mother that's called the Queen Mom. I was kidnapped and brought to the United States in 1941, a couple of years after this photo, and he stole the crown along with the Jews, the Rockefellers, Bilderbergers, Rothschilds, Kennedy clan. Kennedy was appointed ambassador from 36. That's when my grandfather, George V, died, or may have been murdered, looking back knowing what I know. So he was kicked out, Kennedy was, in 45 or 46, and the two sons, JFK and the older son, Joe, actually stayed at the embassy and went before, made speeches before the House of Commons. I believe I'm correct there. One of them, maybe before before I start sounding garbled this morning with as much as I've been through for 76 years, I wanted to address this, but real quick, I'm not going to show Peggy Dempsey. That's the name I have to still use, Peggy Dempsey Childers. My name is Victoria II, heir to the British Crown. There's a 99-year seal put on my dad's forced abdication, and my father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, legally part of the family. My own grandmother, Mary, was a part of it. I didn't think my mother was worthy of being queen, so from there, my mother was a school teacher, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe, and I don't want to lose you here before I get to the point on this one. This is my aunt, Georgia, and I want to say here that my dad, of course, never married Wallis Simpson, this American spy whore. She married a double, a look-alike. So, and the look-alike's picture was used in all of the photos that were used to discredit my father, like running around wearing a diaper on a tricycle and a whole bunch of stuff like that, being naked and all this kind of stuff. They use the double. Now, here's where I want to go in and say this. My husband, I didn't find out till much later, but my husband always, I look back when I found out about my real identity and being kidnapped in 83, I look back at my husband, I know he worked for the CIA, and looking back, he left clues all along the way. He knew that I'd been kidnapped. He knew who I am. He was told to marry me. He did. He followed orders, as far as I know. I don't want to get into that. The point I want to make here is they brought me to Moulton, gave me the identity of Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married Childers, a twin, Peggy, and my real name is Margaret Ann. I don't have all of my name there, but Margaret Ann Windsor Victoria II, and the seal was put on it. And I don't have someone running around. I live on Lipton little dinners at night that aren't really dinners. They're side dishes, etc., etc. So I don't have money. A friend of mine gave me this video, okay, because the law doesn't work for me. Well, the British are the ones that told me my real name, and I'm not going to name some people that were kin to me that were here in this country trying to save me, because what they did to me, if it's ever shown, is really going to, I don't think people will enjoy seeing it. It's horrifying. But I have two sons, Mark and Scott, that are heirs to the crown after me, and we are the legal heirs. Now then, the fact here is they gave me the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey, And I'm showing you Carl. He was the twin. Both of them were dead. They were killed by the line of their mother. State of Alabama went in, even though it's illegal, and changed the birth dates because the twins were evidently a year older than me, and the family covered it up, and they even told me that later when I found out. And I'm sorry about the camera going back and forth. I wanted to say this. Someone alerted me to the fact there's another woman claiming to be the illegitimate daughter, I believe, and I don't mean to hurt this woman if by chance she's related to me, but it's the first I'd ever heard of her. And someone told me about her video, and I watched part of it, and I thought, my God, you could say she looks a little bit like me. I mean, we both wear our hair back now. Mine's because I can't pay to get it fixed. I'm kept on a leash, really. Evidently, this lady's been allowed to be interviewed on Coast to Coast who really know about me. They do. And she's got videos. I think she's written some books and gotten them published. I'm not even allowed to buy things to eat hardly. I am run from one place to the other, and God knows I've got 100 and something videos up, plus Instagram and YouTube, telling about my kidnapping and what happened to me where I was taken. So the fact that this woman comes up, and excuse me until I know for sure who she is, she's been allowed to go in and file suit against the monarchy, go into Parliament, I believe, and evidently she had a good education. She's got a Southern accent, and she does to a degree. You could go a little further and say that she kind of looks like me a little. My problem is that I don't believe my father did that. I know that John, my husband, took me to movie deliberately and said some things back then. Oh God, I'm going to forget the name. It was with Rock Hudson and Blindfold. And I also know someone else has had surgery done on them to make them look like another person in everybody's body. So I don't want to get any more trouble there or cause that person any pain and suffering. But you can make people through surgery look a certain way, and so I don't know if this woman's real or not. She's filed a suit. She's claiming to be the daughter of King Edward VIII, just like I am. I am the real daughter. And in the tape, she's saying she's a sole daughter. Why would she say sole daughter? Well, no, you're not. I don't know who you are. If you are for real and you were a half-sister of mine, I would at least like to get to know you. But I'm concerned because when I tried to go to your site, it had Rockefeller up there that likes you. Rockefellers have kidnapped me. So you can understand my concern. And concern because my children, Mark and Scott, are heirs. And I'm not going to go in. I've made these statements so long ago. I found out about my identity being stolen in '83. I love my country, and I want to say this. In watching the videos, there's some of what this woman's saying I know to be true. She's talking, I was taken to Moulton, Alabama when I was kidnapped. And how do you think they financed NASA and got the German scientists over here, et cetera, et cetera? Moulton's about 50, 60 miles south of Huntsville, Alabama, NASA, Redstone Arsenal, Ballistic Missile Command Center, and all that. So some of the things this woman's saying, somebody else would try to say it's crazy, and it's not, about the Anunnaki and all of this. I've heard a little about this other than Coast to Coast because I work for the district attorney in Huntsville, and I have met some scientists, in fact, that lived where I lived at Warren's house. And Warren House is like cover-up for the Kennedys, okay? Kennedys have kidnapped me, which doesn't seem to faze anybody. I've been tortured. My father's name has been slandered beyond belief. He didn't even marry Wallace Simpson. Can anybody get that through their head? There was no